Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. I don't know if you would listen to the Brent Dodge here. Do you remember when we used to have it? So back in the day, back in my day, back in the day, we used to have. I used to write an intro song for literally every episode, and then I was just getting. I was like, I don't know how to do this anymore. But we had things like, oh man, I remember we did the D23 episode when we went to the expo September of 2009. It was literally a month after we started doing the Wednesday show. And I was like, at the expo, we had some fun, some fun. We had some fun now. And we just had it so every single week was set to a different Disney song. And then I started like reusing them. And then I just kind of got stuck on the God Help the Outcast for some reason from Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is funny because I don't watch that movie that often. Hola, hello, and howdy. How's everyone doing? Is everyone doing well out there? Hopefully everyone's doing well. It is a bracket series day, which is always very fun. So if you have never joined us for a bracket series, you are in for a treat. And if you have joined us for a bracket series, well, you might be disappointed. Maybe, hopefully not. We're going to continue our bracket series while you guys try to figure out what you think the greatest Disney attraction ride vehicle of all time is. It's a lot of fun. And I also see the numbers. I don't know if the numbers, I don't think they're where they are on my screen. Right here is where we have the likes. Right now, you guys are doing good with the likes. Keep sending those likes in there and all that other fun stuff. Throw a heart in the chat room. Spread the word. We are exactly, I think, 90 people away. We'll have to double check here in just a second, but 90 subscribers away from our 10,000 subscribers. 90 is not a big number, people. Like, I was thinking about it today. When I was 93 subscribers away when I was at, so today I did Fantasia Gardens mini golf, and then I went and parked at Studios, hopped on the Skyliner, hopped on another Skyliner, and I went to Art of Animation at Top Century for a book that I'm working on right now. And also, complete side note, I found a brand new, as of like December, Rescuers reference inside of Top Century, and I was very excited about it because I love the Rescuers. But that's besides the point. So I was 93 subscribers away, and I was like, I'm going to figure out how long it takes me to pass 93 people. So I set my timer on my watch because I'm a nerd, and I hit my watch, and I just counted it. Only the people I was walking by, people in front of me that were walking the same direction as me, I didn't count them, just people going by. And it took 1 minute and 12 seconds to pass 93 people. And I was like, if that was how easy it was to get 93 subscribers, I would be, well, I mean, I interact with so many different people every single day. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get this party started. We're going to start the 882nd episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 882nd episode of the Wednesday show. Today is July 22nd, 2026, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. That was a new one. Today, we're going to be going through and continuing our bracket series where you are trying to figure out what you think the greatest Disney ride vehicle of all time is. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. So first off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be coming to you from, but I promise you we'll always be coming to you live from Disney. So make sure you join us every single Saturday right around 1 o'clock Eastern Time for all the Disney fun. Last week we were over at Living with Land. This week, who knows? I have no idea. I don't have any park reservations set up yet. So we could be at any of the 4 parks. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of which, if you're not subscribed and you want to be subscribed, trust me, Let's take a look at our count right now. We are starting off at 9,910 subscribers. We are exactly 90 subscribers away from our 10,000th subscriber. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. If you know 90 people who might want to subscribe, send them over as well, so we get closer and closer to that as we go through. And of course, if we get more subscribers as the night goes on, it is a bracket series. So we will go into extra matchups as the evening goes through here as well. And also, like the video, it helps bring more people to this live stream as well. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. If you're one of our Patreon pals out there in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you've never joined us for a bracket series before, let me do a quick little setup of exactly how this thing works before we get to our first matchup of the evening. So first off, we started off a few weeks ago where we had the people in the chat room give us 64 random Disney ride vehicles. They chose based off of ride vehicles they liked or ride vehicles they thought were iconic. And then we randomly put them into a list of 64. And then from there on, we've had it so people go through and they randomly select one ride vehicle over another ride vehicle and move them on into the next round as they go into head-to-head competitions. We are still in the first round at trying to figure out what is going to be our top 32. We still have 18 different ones left in the top 64, waiting to figure out if they deserve a spot in the top 32. So I need two numbers from you guys right now between the numbers of 1 and 18. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against each other. Start right now. I was looking at this earlier too. There's one ride vehicle on here. I don't know if we should really count it as a ride vehicle. I feel like it's just going to steamroll over everything as soon as we get to it, but we'll find out once we get to it. Okay. Two numbers between 1 and 18. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room are going to be going head to head against one another. Maybe. Anyone in the chat room? Can you guys hear me? People were writing in the chat room earlier. Now no one's giving us numbers. Is the chat room not working? Oh, is the chat room not working? Am I not seeing the chat room? Here, let me go to my phone. Oh, there we go. Number 7 is the first one to pop up. Number 7. Versus, there we go, number 4. Number 7, number 4. Okay, we have our first matchup of the evening here. Let's start us off because one of these is more of a modern ride vehicle versus a much older ride vehicle. Let's start off with the older one and then make our way to the newer one. So, because that's the order that came in. So number 7. Number 7 is something that is very iconic, very amazing, very bumpy. So let's go back to the year 1959. 1959. On a specific day in 1959, we had 3 iconic Disney attractions open up, all at the very same day. We got the monorail. Monorail. What's that name? Monorail. Say it again. Monorail. The ring fell off my pudding can. Take my penknife, my good man. It's from The Simpsons. So we had the monorail. We also had the 20,000 Leagues submarine voyage. And then the final attraction that we had open up back in 1959 on the very same day of those other 2 iconic attractions was the one, the only, the Matterhorn bobsleds. And that brings us to our first ride vehicle of the evening, which of course is Pinocchio's Daring Journey. No, not Pinocchio's, the Matterhorn bobsleds. So the Matterhorn bobsleds, if you've never been on it, is going to be a 6-seater where every person is sitting in front of one another or behind one another, depending on which way you're looking at it. On this ride vehicle, it is a double-tubed steel roller coaster, actually the very first double-tubed steel roller coaster in the entire world. And On this ride vehicle, we go through quite a bumpy ride, but at the same time, they have updated the ride vehicle a little bit over the last few years to make the seats a little bit more comfortable, even though at the same time, at the end, you still need to call a chiropractor to help rescue your back through the daring journey that you took on the Matterhorn. Going up against the Matterhorn bobsled is an attraction that I truly love with all my heart. And that's because it spins, it moves in all different directions, and yes, it is interactive. And I think one of the things that I love about ride vehicles are some of them are interactive, and those interactive ones just kind of tug at my heartstrings a little bit more. So let's talk about Toy Story Midway Mania. Midway Mania. You'll love it. It's so insania. Everyone, I mean, everybody's playing. Everybody's saying, you'll love this game. Boom, 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 boom. Midway. That's what Mr. Potato Head sings in line. But anyways, we have Midway Mania. Now, the Midway Mania ride vehicle can seat up to 8 people. There are 2 different cars that are connected to each other, and 2 seats face out one way, 2 seats face out the other way, and then it's the same thing on the other side. And every single person from expert to beginner is a winner as they go through and pull on this little string to have it so they can interact with the different screens that are found around the thing. In the middle of the ride vehicle, we also have a classic scorekeeper, in the form of a digital television. And just one final thing is all of the ride vehicles can be identified by different Toy Story characters. So if you look at the side of it, you might have Jessie or Bullseye, Woody, Buzz, Rex, Slinky Dog, or so many more characters. But that's completely besides the point, because the point here is which ride vehicle do you want to have move on to the next round? Is it the Matterhorn bobsleds or is it the Midway Mania vehicles? You guys have 1 minute to vote in the poll starting right now. Honestly, I love both of these ride vehicles. I am fine with either one of these ones winning and moving on to the next round here. If it comes down to a tie, I don't know which one I'm going to vote for, but at the same time, I am looking up there and I do have a vinylmation of one of these ride vehicles that looks at me every single time I'm doing the show. I've got 6 big fig vinylmations. Remember vinylmations? I miss vinylmations. That they look at me at all times. One of them is a Fantasyland trash can. One of them is Sully from Monsters Inc. One is Humphrey the Bear. One is Kermit the Frog with his Muppet Vision 3D stuff on. One is Willie the Whale. And the final one is one of these 2 ride vehicles, which will be revealed as soon as the vote is up. You guys still have about 15 seconds left to throw your votes in. So keep throwing your votes in. If you're one of the people out there who has not voted yet, make sure you vote. And if you've not voted yet, at least like the video. Come on, people. All right, we're going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, voting is up. And Midway Mania vehicle, which is also the vinylmation that is staring at me, is going to be moving on to our next round here. Midway Mania. You'll love it. It's so insania. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 16. First 2 numbers to pop up will be going on to the next head-to-head. Two numbers, 1 through 16. Number 9 is going to be the first one that pops up in the chat room, and number 16 is going to be the second one. 9 versus 16 is going to be our next matchup. Let's take a look at what it is. Oh. Okay. Eric, it's very ironic that you did not choose number 9 because I feel like number 9 is going to be the one that you're going to vote for. Let me just write these down. Okay, let's start us off with the attraction that has been around since 1955. Back in 1955, July 17th, 1955 to be specific, exactly 71 years and 5 days ago, Disneyland would open up with a lot of classic attractions, some of them still around to this very day. One of them is one that had its first run with passengers just a few days before July 17th, 1955. Let me explain. Walt Disney and Lillian Disney decided to celebrate their anniversary by bringing some of their friends and family over to the Golden Horseshoe Review, and they were delighted by a show put in front of them. Afterwards, they boarded the very first ride vehicle that these guests would actually go on in the Disneyland park, which would be the Mark Twain Riverboat. The Mark Twain Riverboat has been transporting guests all around the rivers of America over in Disneyland since 1955. And it is a classic attraction that you love, I love, we all love it. Unfortunately, we don't have anything remotely like it anymore over here at Walt Disney World. But on this, we have a triple decker level where people can go on and take in the sights and the sounds of Rivers of America over in Disneyland. Going up against it is a newer attraction, a newer ride vehicle, but at the same time, a ride vehicle that I truly love with all my heart. Now, if you were thinking about different ways that you can go through the Walt Disney World Resort, you can think about things like the Doom Buggy that takes you through the Haunted Mansion, the Jungle Cruise boats that take you along the world famous Jungle Cruise, or you can go outside the park and think about the Walt Disney World buses that can transport you from Disney parks to Disney resorts and etc., etc., etc. Or if that's a little too grounded for you, then maybe you take a flight in the sky, much like I did earlier today on the Disney Skyliner. The Disney Skyliner has been around for about 7 or 8 years now and has been transporting guests from Disney's Hollywood Studios to Caribbean Beach, from Caribbean Beach over to Pop Century and Art of Animation, from Caribbean Beach over to the Riviera Resort, from Caribbean Beach over to Epcot, and of course, we also have that little station where you just do a little right turn. Overall, it is one of the most relaxing and one of the most amazing. It is essentially the people mover, but hanging from a wire in Walt Disney World. It is one of the most relaxing ride vehicles of all time. And yes, it does come with different themed buckets. Ooh, wait, do we have one right here? It's going to be a replica of the 50th one where we have the different characters that can be found all around it. In addition to characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto, etc. We also have characters from movies like Ralph Breaks the Internet, Zootopia, Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, and so many more. And that is going to be bringing us to our next vote. Only one can move on to our next round. Which one do you want it to be? Do you want it to be the Mark Twain Riverboat, or would you like it to be the Disney Skyliner? You guys are going to have 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. This is, I feel like this is going to be kind of a close vote because some people love the Mark Twain Riverboat. It's a classic attraction. It is an opening day attraction for Disneyland, but at the same time, the Skyliner, oh, I love the Skyliner. Yes, like I said earlier today, if you guys were here before we started doing the episode, I went over and I did Fantasia Gardens miniature golf, and then I went over and parked at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I was like, you know what? I haven't been on the Skyliner for a while, and I haven't been to Pop Century or Art of Animation for a while. I may as well hop over there and enjoy my ride on the Skyliner. And yes, I enjoyed my ride on the Skyliner because who doesn't love a ride on the Skyliner? Eric and I, actually, we were on the Skyliner, that was a while ago. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I don't even know. And we decided, they were staying at Pop Century. Him and I decided we're going to go over to Epcot, but not go into Epcot, but go to Beaches and Cream and get No Way Jose's, and then hop back over to Pop Century. And we got stuck on the Skyliner for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it was amazing. It was one of my favorite, most relaxing times I've ever had in Walt Disney World. No joke. Okay, voting time is up. We were hanging by a thread. It was amazing. All right, Skyliner is going to be moving on to our next round here. I do feel bad for the Mark Twain Riverboat because I do feel like it's a classic attraction, and maybe if it wasn't going up the Skyliner, it would have probably moved on to the next round. Okay, I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 14. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head-to-head against one another. Okay, first two numbers 1 through 14. We got number 5 and we got number 11. Oh my gosh. This is an interesting one. Okay. Okay. I just want to write these down real quick here. Oh, wait. So when it comes to ride vehicles, there's there's a long history of ride vehicles that we could talk about. Um, we could think about classic, iconic ride vehicles, uh, going back to things like the Mark Twain riverboat. And I mean, when you think about classic Disney rides, people will often throw out the dune buggy, or they'll throw out the boat from It's a Small World or Pirates of the Caribbean. But I think when it comes to the entire story of the Walt Disney Company, there's a different ride vehicle that a lot of people will probably go to before they go to any other ride vehicle. And that's just because of the connection with Walt Disney himself. Walt Disney was obsessed with trains, obsessed to the point where he actually had a model train in his backyard. So when they decided to build a Disneyland Resort, he said, of course, we have to have a train that goes around the entire park. And then, of course, when Walt Disney World opened up, Walt Disney World Railroad once again got not one, not two, not three, but four different trains. Those four trains are going to be the Walter E. Disney, the Lillian Disney, Roy O. Disney, and the Roger Brogy, named after one of the Imagineers, who also had a love of trains and also helped build different transportation vehicles for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. But the four trains that go around, I shouldn't even say go around Magic Kingdom, because right now they just go forward and backwards, but they're going to be legitimate steam engine trains that the Walt Disney Company did purchase specifically for Walt Disney World. They did a lot of maintenance on them, and then they put them back on the track. Also, they don't have it anymore, but they used to have my favorite tour that Disney's ever done was the Behind the Steam Engines train tour, and it was amazing. They let you go and take a ride on the trains. You got to go inside the engine of the train. You got to go to the old roundhouse, or still the roundhouse now, but you got to go and experience these trains in ways that most people never could experience. But the Walt Disney World Railroad is a classic ride vehicle that we all love, and I try to go on at least once or twice a month just because it's just such an iconic attraction. Going up against it is one of the few times on this list that there might be a few people out there who have a moral compass factor into their vote. Let me explain. If we go through things like the Safari Jeep, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea submarines, 20,000 Leagues, Liberty Bell Riverboat, the Dune Buggy, People Mover Car, there's so many amazing ride vehicles, but none of them are alive, with the exception of this ride vehicle that you guys chose. If you ever go over to Fort Wilderness Campground, you can do one of the most unique attractions of all. And I'm not talking about the golf carts. I'm not even talking about the old railroad that is now retired. I am talking about a Tri-Circle D horse. You can you can get onto an actual legit horse and go on a trail ride over at Tri-Circle D Ranch at the Fort Wilderness Campground. While you are going on here, you might have a horse whose name is Peanut or Sir Gallops a lot. These are not real names. But you can board or ride an actual horse, and it will take you on one of the most unique experiences in the Walt Disney World Resort. I did have the opportunity to do this once, and it was great, but at the same time, my legs were sore afterwards. And that's going to bring us to our next vote of the evening. Which one of these two ride vehicles would you like to move on to the next round? Is it the Walt Disney World Railroad, or is it the Tri-Circle D Ranch? You have 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. I did it before too and loved it. I want to do it again. Yeah, I did it. Oh, I'm trying to think of when I did it. I want to say it was right after I moved down here in 2010. It was like shortly after that, or maybe it was my trip right before moving down here. One of the two. So I came down here in December of 2009, and then I moved down here March of 2010. And I want to say it was right after I moved down here. I did it, but I could be wrong. But that was the last time I went on it. I've been on one horse since then, I want to say, too. So his name was Sir Gallops a lot. It's not. What a great name for a horse. We're gonna give you guys about 15 seconds left to throw your votes in here. Also, the tri-circle, tri-circle meaning tri-circle Mickey Mouse. Okay, voting is up. The Walt Disney World Railroad is moving on to the next round. You did it in 2010 or something. It was either 2009 or 2010 for me. I think it was 2010 though. I'm almost positive it was 2010. I'm also almost positive that I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 12. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against one another. The one that I think is just going to blow away the competition is just still sitting there. No one has been voting for throwing it in there, and I'm very curious when it's going to happen. Oh, it just happened. Number 12. 8 and 12 are going to be the two going head to head against each other. Let's get to it. Let's just write these in here. Number 12, it just cracks me up that someone put this on the list. And I hope, I don't know, I love this ride vehicle, so I kind of hope that it goes the distance, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it's unfair to be on this list. Okay, let's get to it, people. Let's start off. Was that when you did the Adventures by Disney trip? No, that was not. No, because the Adventures by Disney trip was over in Disneyland. So the the horse one was. It was right after I moved down here, and I had my my old roommate Hannah. For those of you who've been watching since 2010, you guys might remember Hannah. And Hannah said that she had never done the horseback riding, and it was one of her dreams to ever go on it. And I said, I've always wanted to go on it too. So we went and we did horseback riding. So that's why I'm thinking, because I knew her, I had met her in 2009, but then I'm pretty sure it was after we were roommates. Because the other time I was with Kyle, so then because it was just two people. Oh wait, that's besides the point. Let's get to our vote here. Okay, there are very unique attractions found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. We've talked about this a lot. However, in Disney Springs, we have a few different attractions that all have very unique experiences. We get the carousel that takes you round and round. It also has a teacup on there, which could potentially kill someone. In fact, I've gone on it twice, and both times I've been on it, in my head, I have literally seen newspaper headlines, 3 die at Disney Springs. No joke. It is the scariest ride in Disney World. Mark my words. If you've never done it, go do it. And they don't have a spot where it like restricts the speed you go at. This is not even the thing that we're talking about. But it doesn't like restrict the speed that you're going at. And because of that, you just start like whipping around and you could potentially die. And the last time I did it, they literally had to close down the carousel because we had gone so fast on it that when we got off, the teacup was tilted. Then you also have things like the train. It's a very simple train. It's called the Old Timer. That's the name of the engine. Little fun fact for you if you didn't know. And then we also have things like the amphicars, which take you out into the water, which is a very unique experience as well. But the one that is on this list is something completely different. That is going to be the balloon at Disney Springs. So this balloon will take you 200 yards up into the air, 200 yards, 200 feet, 200 feet, 200 feet, 200 yards, 200 feet, up into the air, 200 feet, and allow you to have a panoramic view of all of Walt Disney World, but mainly Disney Springs. One of my favorite things about this balloon ride is while you're up there, yes, the wind can make you sway a little bit, which I think is fun, but other people that I've been on with have not enjoyed it as much. But if you go at night and you plan it accordingly well, you can either go at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and watch the fireworks at either Epcot or Magic Kingdom from a very unique vantage point, making it one of the more unique attractions found in the Walt Disney World Resort. Going up against it is a completely different ride vehicle, different vehicle. Let's just call it a vehicle because it's a ride, but it's not exactly. Let's just get to it. We have some very unique things that you can experience at Walt Disney World. We've got things that have unique experiences like sleeping in Radiator Springs when you go over to Art of Animation, or sleeping in Carousel of Progress as the theater goes around. But have you ever been on a ride vehicle that is specifically made for sleeping? Because that's what this one is for. We're talking about the Disney Cruise Line ship, people. Which I feel like is so unfair. I don't know why I even included it on this list, but someone said it and I said, yeah, let's put that in there. A Disney Cruise Line ship. There is going to be so many of them in the different fleet now. We've got the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, the Fantasy, the Wish, the Treasure, the Believe, the Adventure. You don't sleep on those, dude. That's true. I don't sleep on them. Eric has been on many cruises with me, and I really do not sleep at all. So the Disney Cruise Line ship has a few different classes, and on these different classes, you can sail around the world to your heart's content. This one is made specifically for sleeping, but at the same time, it is a mode of transportation that can take you on journeys all around the world. It has, depending on what the ship is, anywhere between 11 to 16 different decks, all of them filled with things like kids clubs, food, shows, food, and also things like the Aqueduct, which I personally love. But it is time for you guys to figure out which one is moving on to the next round. Is it going to be the Disney Springs Balloon, or is it going to be a Disney Cruise Line ship? You have a minute to throw your vote in. Oh, ice cream. Oh, I miss Disney Cruise Line ice cream. Just going up and, oh, it's so good. It is so good. I feel like some people might vote for the balloon just to give it some pity votes. Or maybe people generally don't like cruise ships. Which I don't know how you couldn't like a cruise ship. Cruise ships are amazing. I cannot. Oh, we've got some cruises coming up here, people. While you vote, let's talk a little bit about this. So, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be on a non-Disney cruise for a family get-together. And when we do that, we might do a very, 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 I cannot stress how very short episode of the Wednesday show from the cruise ship. Because it's not a Disney cruise ship, so I don't think we're going to be going around and doing anything, but maybe we'll do a quick little walk around or something just to kind of give people the idea of what a non-Disney Cruise Line ship looks like. And then, no, we're doing MSC. MSC, which I've never done before. I've done Royal Caribbean. I've done Princess. I've done Disney, and now I'm going to be doing MSC. So it's going to be my parents, who are probably in the chat room. My parents are celebrating their 50th anniversary in a few weeks, so we are doing a family cruise to celebrate. And to make it more affordable, we're doing MSC and not Disney because Disney, as much as I love the cruises for Disney, they're pretty expensive. But yeah, so the Wednesday show that's on the 5th will be a very brief one because I'll be with family and I want to spend as much time with family as possible. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, we'll be on a Disney cruise. So then we'll do a longer episode featuring the Disney Destiny, which I've never been on. So, okay. But anyways, that's besides the point. The Disney Cruise Line ship is moving on. That is what you guys have voted for. to move on to the next round here. It just does not seem fair. Okay, I need two numbers between the numbers of 1 and 10. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against one another. So send them out now. Number 3 and number 7 are going to be the first two numbers that popped up in that chat room. Oh, okay. What's going on here? Okay. Let's start off with one of these is an extinct attraction and one of them is a current attraction. So let's start off with the extinct attraction and then we'll go into the current attraction. So back in the year 1998, actually a little before that, 1997, Disney did something that was very controversial. Still to this very day, if you talk to people who are specifically Disneyland park people, they are still upset by this. And I don't blame them at all, because if this happened in Walt Disney World, I would be heartbroken beyond belief. In the mid to late 90s, Disney decided in Disneyland that there was an attraction that just wasn't living up to the hype that they would hope it would be. And they figured younger people are now coming into the park and they want things that are more thrilling, more exciting. So why not shut down this attraction that's a little slower moving and change it up for something more thrilling and exciting? So they closed down the W.E.D.nesday People Mover. Yeah, that's right. And when they closed down the People Mover, then they went through and they decided that what they're going to do is put in a brand new thrill attraction on the exact same track as the People Mover, and that was going to be called the Rocket Rod. Now, this Rocket Rod ride vehicle was a 5-seater, meaning it seated 5 people. There was 2 seats in the front, 3 seats in the back. It kind of looked like a rocket car, and it would go and would take a turn and go. Just giving you the examples. It was a failure. It lasted for just 2 years when it kept on having a lot of maintenance problems, and eventually they would close it up forever to make way for absolutely nothing. The Rocket Rod / People Mover track still sits vacant in Disneyland Resort, making many people wonder why. Why did we lose the People Mover for Rocket Rods and then lose that as well? Going up against Rocket Rods is an attraction that still goes on to this very day. In fact, if you go to Disneyland or if you go to Walt Disney World, you can find this attraction mainly early days in the morning at Magic Kingdom, but at Disneyland, almost the entire day. Some days at Magic Kingdom, you can find this attraction in maintenance and in rotation throughout the day, but there are going to be multiple breaks because of parades and shows and bands and everything else. We are talking about the Main Street Ride vehicle. These Main Street Ride vehicles, mainly created by the one and only Bob Gurr, who we've had on the show before, are going to be very unique ride vehicles. We've got the yellow car, we've got the red car, we've got the blue car, we've got the green double-decker bus. Over in Disneyland, they've got a fire truck, and they've got a whole lot more. These little ride vehicles can usually seat anywhere between 4 people to like 27 people, depending on if you're on the double-decker bus or if you're just in one of the small cars. Overall, it gives you a very unique experience of going down Main Street, either from Town Square to Cinderella Castle or from Cinderella Castle to Town Square, in a very unique way that makes most guests looking at you think, how are they even on that thing? The Main Street Ride vehicle is one of the most unique experiences that they created in the Walt Disney Resort. And of course, who could ever forget the that's the name, the sounds of the horns. And that's going to bring us to the next vote here. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy sometimes when we're doing the Wednesday show. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Which one do you want to have move on to the next round? Is it the Rocket Rod, or is it the Main Street Ride vehicles? You have 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. I never experienced rocket rods. I've watched it on YouTube. Just to experience it in some capacity, but it's not as good as People Mover. It would be something that it would be cool to experience once, but I could not imagine. If Disney said tomorrow or during the D23 Expo in a few weeks, if all of a sudden they said, "Hey, big announcement, we're getting rid of the People Mover." First off, I don't know. I would hope that everyone who's watching right now would contact me and check in on my mental well-being, because I would not be okay. And then two, I don't know. I just don't know. To then have them say we're going to put in a high-speed attraction. I would say, really? Where the People Mover is? And I don't know. I really feel bad for my friends from Disneyland who had experienced the People Mover over there and then lost it for Rocket Rod. And you would take all my stuff. All right, we're going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Main Street Ride vehicle is moving on to our next round. Yeah. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 8. Now, is it 1 and 8? Yeah, 1 and 8. First 2 numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. Number 6 will be going up against number... Ooh, that's a good one. I like 6. There's actually quite a few really good attraction ride vehicles that you guys still have left on this vote. 6 against 4. That's a good one too. Okay, 6 against 4. This is a good matchup. This is actually a really good matchup. Okay, we have... there we go. Okay, so let's start us off because we already talked about Disney Springs and all the unique attractions that you have at Disney Springs. But one thing we did not talk about at Disney Springs is a very unique ride system / transportation system that is at Disney Springs. That is going to be the pontoon boats. There are going to be a few different pontoon boats that will take you from Disney Springs Ride Dock over behind Rainforest Cafe and next to Saratoga Springs, and they will take you over to places like Port Orleans Riverside and Riverside and French Quarter. These ride vehicles are very relaxing. They're very luxurious. I really do not take advantage of them very often, and now you have to actually show that you are staying at one of the resorts in order to go on it, and it kind of breaks my heart because I wish I could go on there a lot more often. But that's completely besides the point. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about the pontoon boat. So this pontoon boat can seat about 20 different people on there, and it will transport you from one of those locations to the other locations. There were a few other ones that used to exist back in the day. They would also transport you from behind House of Blues over to the central area, which is going to be over by Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, and then also behind Rainforest Cafe. There was 3 different stops. So if you wanted to take your time and go from one part of Disney Springs to a different part, of Disney Springs, that was one way you could do it. But now it is a transportation from the resorts to Disney Springs, which is still a very, very relaxing boat ride for anyone to take a ride on. Going up against it is not just an old attraction, but the oldest attraction in all of Walt Disney World. When you think of classic attractions that are old, you might think about things like Peter Pan's Flight with the Flying Ship. Or you might think about It's a Small World, but most importantly, you should think about the ride vehicle that was inspired by different films that Disney had done, but also inspired the entire park based off of what Walt Disney experienced at Griffith Park back in the early 1950s, as Walt Disney was sitting on a park bench watching his daughters go around on a carousel. He thought, I wonder if there's a place that I could create where parents and children could go and have fun together. This idea inspired Disneyland Resort, and then eventually it inspired Walt Disney World. And when they built Walt Disney World, they said, of course, we have to have a carousel as well. So they built the carousel smack dab right in the middle of the Magic Kingdom. And just a little quick, fun find for you guys when it gets to the Magic Kingdom carousel is originally the carousel was a few inches further to the left hand side. And when Roy Disney was looking through the castle, he noticed that it was off center and he instructed them to move it a little bit to the right hand side. But we're not here to talk about the carousel itself. We are here to talk about the carousel horses. So the carousel horses, there's going to be 84 of them altogether. And on these different horses, they have all their very own unique designs. Each one of them has a different color scheme. They have a different facial expressions. They are all completely unique horses. However, in addition to that, we also have it so 12 of these horses are the original horses that were created by the New Jersey Toboggan Company back in the year 1917, making it the oldest attractions and oldest ride vehicles in all of Walt Disney World. And that brings us to our next vote here. Which one do you want to have moving on? The nice, relaxing luxury ride on a Disney Springs pontoon boat, or the oldest attraction in Walt Disney World on a carousel horse? Which one should move on to our next round? You've got 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. Both of these are classic attractions. I know people are going to say, well, the carousel horse is a classic, but the boat ride has been around since the early 90s, and it's a very relaxing boat ride as well. But there is something about the carousel and moving up and down, listening to the carousel music, seeing the very unique carousel horses. Also, while we're on here, we should also talk about how there are two horses on here that do belong to Cinderella and Prince Charming. It started off as a thing for a cast member to just kind of throw at a guest when a guest asked if one of these horses was Cinderella's horse. And they just said, oh, yeah, it's this one right here. And then the Imagineers kind of ran with it and turned it into more of a storyline. So if you are ever on the carousel and you're trying to figure out exactly which one is Cinderella's horse, it is the one with the gold ribbon tied in her tail. And then she's got purple feather or flowers on her mane. And then the one on her right hand side is Prince Charming's horse, because if you go back into medieval times, this is actually the early days of when people got married. The bride would be on the left hand side, the groom would be on the right hand side, because the groom would be in the protection spot compared to the bride. And in medieval times, you would ride in on a horse if you were a person of nobility. So it just makes sense that when you're going on Cinderella's Golden Carousel or Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, which is what it's called now, Prince Charming's horse is on the right because that's where the man would be, and Cinderella's is on the left because that is where the woman would be. Just a little medieval history there for you. But our voting is up. Carousel horse is moving on to our next round here. Okay, I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 6. First two numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against one another. It looks like tonight we'll probably be finishing up these three to figure out which one's going to be these last three rounds to figure out what's going to be going head to head. Okay, we got number 3 is going to be the first number that popped up there. It's the only number popping up. 3 against 5 are going to be going head to head against one another. 3, what's number 5? Oh, I like number 5. I like both of these, but I like number 5 a lot. Let's now there's any bias. Okay, let's start us off with what number 3 was. Number 3 has been around at the Magic Kingdom, or I shouldn't even say inside Magic Kingdom because it's outside of Magic Kingdom, but it's been in the Walt Disney World Resort since October 1st, 1971. When guests are trying to get from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the Magic Kingdom, there are 2, now technically 3 different paths that you could take. Number 1 is an actual walking path. It's actually the thing that I like to do the most. Number 2 is the monorail, the highway in the sky. It's a classic. Everyone loves it. And number 3 is going to be this thing that's on the list, the ferry boat. The ferry boat currently has 3 different ferries that can transport you from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the Magic Kingdom and back. Pretty soon, we're going to have a 4th one called the Meg Crofton, named after the old Walt Disney World president, Meg Crofton. They'll be joining the ranks in about a year. But the ferry boat has it so it is going to be a double-decker ferry boat. And on this double-decker ferry boat, you can go through and transport yourself from one side to another side. You can have some lovely Disney music playing in the background. And overall, it is a very nice, relaxing ride, especially if you go late at night. You can watch the fireworks from up there, which is just one of the most amazing views of all time. Going up against the ferry boat is an attraction that is near and dear to my heart. However, I don't know how many other people's heart it's near and dear to, because this ride always has a walk-on. However, it is my 3rd most ridden attraction over the last year and a half. And we, of course, are talking about Star Tours. Star Tours is going to be a giant ride vehicle that is also a simulator that takes guests, exactly about 26 of them, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. No, it's more than 26. 35. 35? 7, 14, 22, 38? That's besides the point. It can transport guests to different destinations like Naboo, Crate, Tatooine, and a whole lot more. This is going to be one of the more unique ride vehicles experiences, because this is going to be a simulator that is staying in one location but moving you all around. However, one of the things that I do like about this ride vehicle is the ingenuity that is behind it. Amazingly enough, it was created by a person who unfortunately, that's where I want to throw the word for unfortunately, and who unfortunately just passed away last week, which is Don Iwerks. Don Iwerks went through and he wanted to have it so they created this amazing technology to have it so you could watch the screen at all times, but also they were trying to figure out exactly how to have it so the film projection would be going through. So when you're on Star Tours, or when you're on the older versions of Star Tours, now it's all digital, but on the older ones, what they would do is they would have it so that screen was being projected on the screen like a television screen. However, it was like a VCR where you had to have the tape, and that tape would go around the entire ride vehicle to give you the experience of riding in outer space. Overall, it's an amazing ride vehicle, features R2-D2 and a whole lot more. Let's go through and figure out what you want to have move on to our next round. Is it going to be the ferry boat, or is it going to be Star Tours? You guys have exactly 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. Hey, Tom, how you doing, buddy? I do like both these. I do like Star Tours better, not going to lie. No offense to the people who like the ferry boat. But I'm not going to be upset if Star Tours loses. If People Mover lost last week or 2 weeks ago, or whenever we did the last bracket, I would have been heartbroken. Like, the tears on my pillow that night would be from you guys. Okay. You have about 15 seconds left to throw your votes in. Ferry boat is going strong here. I was going to say, Ashley, who's in the chat room, Ashley used to drive the ferry boats. Little fun fact for you. Little fun fact about Ashley for you. Okay, we're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like the ferry boat will be moving on to our next round. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you between the numbers of 1 and 4. First 2 numbers to be going. Wait a minute. Where did we screw up? We screwed up someplace. Where did we screw up? Did we not get rid of one? Did something go in 2 brackets here? Oh my gosh. Guys, we may have screwed up here. Not you. I may have screwed up here. because we only have one spot left, but we've got 4 numbers left. So did we start off with 30? Did we start off with 38? Or did I forget to take something off the list 1 week, and then I got to go in 2 different? That's a very real possibility. Like I made like something like the ferry boat. We might have had the ferry boat go head to head in a different competition, and I just forgot to take it off. My only fear is, did I have something go head to head twice, and now it's in the next round twice? I'm trying to go through. Okay, wait. I'm going to read off all the ones that have won so far. If you hear one of these on here twice, let me know, because it shouldn't be on there twice. If not, then we'll have it so you guys choose. 1 and 2 are going to be the 2 numbers that popped up first. So we'll have it so 1 and 2 go head to head against each other, and they'll be, the other 2 are just, they don't even get a chance to play. Make sense? Okay, so the ones that have won so far: the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad Train, Slinky Dog, Tom Sawyer Island Raft, Casey Jr. in Disneyland, Spaceship Earth Ride Vehicle, Small World Boat, Great Movie Ride Vehicle, Splash Log, Herbie the Love Bug, Jungle Cruise Boat, Backlot Tour Tram, Test Track Car, Jungle Cruise Boat, Carousel of Progress Theater, Peter Pan Boat, Tower of Terror Elevator, Monorail, Liberty Bell Riverboat. Oh, what just happened? Okay, we're good. Liberty Bell Riverboat. We did have Mark Twain tonight, but that's a different. Where are we at? Liberty Bell. Doom Buggy, People Mover Car, Living with the Land Boat, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Submarine, Dumbo, Safari Jeep, Midway Mania Vehicle, Skyliner, Walt Disney World Railroad, Disney Cruise Line Ship, Main Street Ride Vehicle, Carousel Horse Ferry Boat. I don't think I'd said anything twice. I'm almost positive I didn't say anything twice, but at the same time I may have. Okay. I just want to make sure before we go to this one, because I don't want to have it so, or maybe I wrote down something twice. Oh, wait, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read again. Oh, wait. I'm going to read again because maybe I put it, because that was the just the verses. This is going to be what's actually in the round of 32. Oh, you know what? Here, let's look at that. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Oh, we have had 31 matches. So did we just start with too many things? No, I'm so confused. We've had 31 matches. Now I'm curious about the ones that lost. Okay, no matter what. No matter what, we're going here. We're 1 and 2, and then the 2 that did not get chosen is the Keelboat and the Parking Tram, which I'm fine with. Okay, so our final one here is going to be those 2. Okay, let's start us off, and then I kind of feel like we did start off with more. Didn't we start off? I don't even remember. All right, and then we'll put down did not get selected. There we go. Just so everything's, because I like my statistics, and then I'm also going to spend like half an hour after the show double checking all my math here. Okay, so Keelboats and Parking Tram, I apologize to the 2 of you. You just didn't make it through to the next round, but at the same time, maybe you did, and I just messed up. We might have to have a surprise round next week. Okay, let's get it started with our final battle to get into the top 32. Starting us off over in Disney California Adventure, one of the most unique ride vehicles of them all. There's a face on it, but it doesn't talk to us. That's right, we were talking about Radiator Springs Racers cars. So in the Radiator Springs Racers, you board into a car very similar to the car that is found in Test Track, but this one is going to be a little bit more unique because instead of going through and just kind of showing us different tests, we're going to be taking through the story of Radiator Springs and Lightning McQueen and Mater, Sally, all those other fun characters. But at the end of it, the thing that makes this ride vehicle a very unique ride vehicle is it races head-to-head against yet another Radiator Springs Racers car. The two of them will go on a high-speed ride through Radiator Springs where they will determine who the fastest car is on this specific race day. Going up against it is going to be a completely different type of ride vehicle that's a little more simple, but at the same time is a whole lot of fun. This ride vehicle twists, it jumps, it does a lot of different things, all in a storyline that is made for a younger audience. When you go on the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, you board into one of Winnie the Pooh's honey pots, and in these honey pots, we are taken through the story of Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. While you're on your honey pot, yes, you will jump with Tigger. You will also have it so during the Heffalumps and Woozles, you will move slightly, but most importantly, during the when the rain came down in rushing, rising rivulets, your honey pot will sway as if it is in the water itself. And that is going to bring us to our final poll of the evening. Which one do you want to have move on to the next round? Is it a Radiator Springs race car, or is it going to be a many of adventures Winnie the Pooh honey pot? You have 1 minute to throw your vote in, starting right now. Frank, welcome to the show, but you don't know how to vote. You have to vote in the poll. Frank enters late and then just starts writing down Radiator Springs. That's not how this game works, Frank. Okay, you got 1 minute to throw your votes in. Looks like right now we do have it till the Radiator Springs Racers will be in the lead. Oh, it's just completely taken the lead. It's just completely taken over. I'm so fixated on if I messed up or if we actually started with 38 numbers instead of 36. And I feel like that might be the case. Okay, we're going to give you guys about 15 more seconds to throw your votes in, although it looks like most of the people who are watching did vote already. We're going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2. Radiator Springs Racers is moving on to our next round here. Okay. Final check here. Let's go through. Let's see how many subscribers we're at. If we went up a single subscriber, we will go into our first bonus round of the round of 32. Remember, we started off at 9,910 subscribers. We are currently at 9,911. Okay, you guys have earned yourself one extra round. We're going to start our round of 32 right away. Okay, I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 32. First two numbers to pop up are going to be going head to head against one another. Okay, our first one comes from Thomas, number 31. It's going to be going up against number 26. Okay. That against... I actually had this all organized too this time. Oh, this is a good round. Okay. This is a very good round. Okay, before we actually go head to head here, I want to do a quick recap before we get into this next one. Also, I'm just buying people who are watching right now time to subscribe if they've not subscribed, so we get an extra round after this round. So real quick, first a recap of how everything went down during our first round. So in our first round of the competition, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad train car did take out the Clammobile from the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Then Slinky Dog took out a Mad Tea Party teacup. Tom Sawyer Island Raft beat out the Bottle Round Boat. Casey Jr. at Disneyland's car took out the Empress Lily train car that's found over in Disneyland. Spaceship Earth vehicles took out the Fort Wilderness golf cart. That was a pretty easy one. Small World boat took out the Muppet Limo. The Great Movie Ride vehicle took out the Rock and Roller Coaster Aerosmith limo. Splash Log took out the Skyway bucket. Herbie the Love Bug beat out Lenny the Cab. That was an easy one too. Jungle Cruise Boat took out the Runamuck Railway car. Backlot Tour Tram took out the Disney Bus. Test Track Car beat out Barnstormer Plane. The Jungle Cruise Boat beat out the Navi River. Was that our second time saying Jungle Cruise Boat? Wait a minute. That was our second time saying Jungle Cruise Boat. There's our mess up, people. Oh, and I see the second Runamuck Railway car. Those are the two. Okay. So Runamuck Railway car lost twice. Jungle Cruise Boat won twice. Ladies and gentlemen, our first round's not over yet. Wait, let's find it. Where's our Jungle Cruise Boat? Jungle Cruise Boat. There should be two Jungle Cruise. Okay, there's one of them. And remember, I always put them in like a random order afterwards. So now we have to find the second Jungle Cruise Boat. There it is. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still in the first round here. Oh, wait. Let's get rid of that and rid of that because now we have a different number. 31, number 26 are still on the board. We're going to knock out that one there. Ladies and gentlemen, we found the mistake. Yay. Okay. How funny would it be if we didn't catch it until later and then it ends up that was going to be our round of like the final rounds was Jungle Cruise Boat and Jungle Cruise Boat and Jungle Cruise Boat. Oh, wait. Our next round, I already told you, Keel Boat and Parking Lot Tram. So the Keel Boat is Mike Fink's Keel Boat. Mike Fink's Keel Boat opened up with the Magic Kingdom back in 1971. It took guests on a wonderful little ride around the rivers of America where you could board a very sketchy boat and kind of take a very little, it was a small boat. And I'm surprised more people didn't fall into the water. I'm pretty sure some people fell in the water, but I'm kind of surprised more people did not fall into the water. This keelboat journey took people on a nice leisurely ride around as you would listen to the story of Mike Fink, who battled Davy Crockett in one of the Davy Crockett episodes of Davy Crockett. Going up against the Mike Fink's keelboats is going to be the one and only Parking Tram. Let's keelboat versus Parking Tram. Okay, the Parking Tram is going to be a tram that can be found inside of the parking lots for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Disney's Animal Kingdom. In addition to that, you can also find it over at Disneyland, which brings it over to the guests over to downtown Disney. And overall, it goes on a whopping wild ride that takes you into high speeds of 7 miles per hour and brings you to your car. And that, my friends, is going to bring us to our final vote of the top 32. Which one do you want to move on to the next round? Is it going to be the Mike Fink keelboat or is it going to be a parking lot tram? Throw your votes down starting right now. The Jungle Cruise Boat won twice. Runamuck Railway lost twice. I think that's the funniest part, though. Because when I was like reading, I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. Runamuck Railway lost. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. Okay, while you guys are going through, Carousel of Progress Theater beat out Runamuck Railway. Peter Pan Boat beat out Mr. Toad's Wild Ride car. Universe of Energy car beat out Tower of Terror elevator beat out the Universe of Energy car. Monorail beat the Guardians Breakout elevator. Liberty Bell Riverboat beat the Finding Nemo submarine. Doom Buggy beat out the Walt Disney World launch boats. People Mover car beat out Pirates of the Caribbean boat. Limit the Land beat out Heimlich's Choo Choo Train. I'm still kind of upset by that one. Not going to lie. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Submarine beat out Aladdin's Flying Carpets. Dumbo beat out Web Slingers. Safari Jeep beat out Figment. Midway Mania Vehicle beat out Matterhorn Bobsled. Skylander beat out Mark Twain Riverboat. Walt Disney World Railroad beat out the Poor Little Horses of Tri-Circle D Ranch. A Disney Cruise Line ship beat out the Balloon at Disney Springs. Main Street Ride Vehicle beat out Rocket Rods. Carousel Horse beat out the Disney Springs Pontoon Boat. Ferry Boat beat out Star Tours. Radiator Springs car beat out Honey Pot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have less than 15 seconds left to throw your votes in to figure out what's going to be the last thing going into our final round of, not our final round, into our round of 32. It is going to be the parking lot tram. What? The parking lot tram barely wins. Okay, so that was to get into the top 32. You guys chose 31 and 26. I'm surprised that the parking lot tram is moving on. I am not gonna lie, I can't even tell you the last time I took a parking lot tram. I refuse to take that unless I'm with people who really want to take it. And even then, I usually walk and I say, I'll meet you at the security. I don't know this. Oh. I like to walk. I like to get my steps in too. All right, 31 and 26. Those two numbers are still the same. So we are going to go through. We're going to do number 31 and 26. This could potentially be our last, like I said earlier, this could be potentially our last matchup of the evening here. Let's do this thing. Oh, wait, starting us off is one of the ones that we just put through, so we're not going to go into too much detail about it, but we've got the ferry boat, the Magic Kingdom ferry boats that transport guests from the Ticketer Transportation Center over to the Magic Kingdom and vice versa. On these nice leisurely boat rides, you get to have it so you get to go to the Magic Kingdom in style on a boat, and then you can tell your people, forget about it. Going up against it is going to be a completely different kind of attraction that has been around since the early days of both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. This attraction is going to be one of the most iconic attraction vehicles of all time. And in fact, if I had to go through and figure out which ride vehicle I would want the most, this is easily in my top 3. This ride vehicle is controlled by you, the rider, on how far you want to go up and how far you want to go down by lifting up a magic feather, aka on Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Dumbo the Flying Elephant ride vehicles, there are 16 of them all together. Each one of them can hold up to 3 guests if one of those guests is small, and 2 if you have 2 adults. On this ride vehicle, it is a classic ride vehicle attraction that makes it look like Dumbo the Flying Elephant. And if you go on the one that's on the right-hand side while facing it, you can go on to ride vehicle number 9, and it's the bountiest one of them all. Just a little fun find for you. So that brings us to you. Which one do you want to move on to the next round? Is it the ferry boat or is it Dumbo the Flying Elephant? You've got 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. But then you miss Morrow, the singing tram attendant. He is so funny. I think I'm fine with that. I don't know. I like to get my steps in. And plus, every time I walk, I beat the tram. Every time. So this vote, by the way, is going crazy right now on my side. Like it's like, because right now it's showing that we only have 3 people watching, but it's also showing that we've got 4 or 12 people who voted so far. But then it said 14, then I went back to 12. Now I went to 15, now I went back to 13. So I have no idea how many people are actually voting or watching right now because these numbers are all over the place. So yeah, I've never. It's very rare that I lose the tram. The tram has only beat me if like I'm getting there right when the tram is starting to take off. So I don't know. I'm just not a big tram person. My mom usually takes the tram when my parents are down, and then my dad and I usually walk, and then we meet my mom at the security. Okay, we're gonna give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, and it looks like Dumbo, the Flying Elephant, will be moving on. It's gonna be our first one making its way to the Sweet 16. Pretty sweet, if you ask me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'll be on the tram with Judy. I think most people would. Okay, let's take a look yet again at our subscriber count. We are currently at 9,911. If we went up to 9,912, you guys have earned yourselves an X round, and we are still at 9,911 subscribers. So it looks like, oh, no, never mind. It just went down 1. That's probably Eric or Thomas. Please don't take this away. We're so close to 10,000. And I actually think it does affect my algorithm when people are unsubscribed. So please do not. It's not when we're so close. We are so close to 10,000 people. Okay, we are going to be wrapping this bad boy up right here. As always, thank you everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Please keep on spreading the word about the Wednesday show and making people subscribe on YouTube. Not just telling them to subscribe, making them. Like literally, if you see an old lady walking across the street about to get hit by a car, I want you to help that old lady out. That's just the nice thing to do. But when you get to the other side, I want you to say, hey, listen, I just saved your life, Grandma. No, subscribe. And if she says no, you still did a good deed. But you should have, she should have learned her lesson. Blaming us. Rude. But Eric, was it you? Blaming us. How rude. Was it you, though, Eric? Did it go back up? Oh, it wasn't you. Go back up. It went back up. We're back at 9,911. Thomas, was it you? Tom? Tom? It might have been Tom. Tom is pretty silent right now. I got my eyes on him. He might be the culprit here. The parking tram unfollowed. Huh. Okay. Well, someone unfollowed. Okay, guys, we're going to be wrapping this up right here. I was just checking because we do have a few people who just popped on. This number goes up. We'll do one more round because we just had a lot of people who just popped up. Like all of a sudden, the viewership just went up quite a bit. So if you're one of those people right now who's watching and just got on, maybe it's important that you subscribe because then you guys earn another round for all the people who are watching. We're going to do another. We'll do. Oh man, we have a lot of people who are joining on right now. We have a lot of people who are joining on right now, and it just went down. It didn't go up. I was going to say maybe we'll do a bonus round because we have a lot of people who are on, but not if people keep on doing the subscribe thing. Okay, guys, thank you everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Please keep on spreading the word about From Screen and Theme and the Wednesday show and YouTube and all that other fun stuff. Remember, until next time, anything can happen if you let it. We will see you guys all next week for more fun. Until then, oh yeah, bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Wait. Ashley just threw in a bonus. Bonus. Okay, Ashley just bought you guys a bonus. We're hold back the hello. Okay. Ashley barely bought you guys a bonus at the very last second there. Okay, everyone say thank you, Ashley. And then I'll follow up. I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 30. First two numbers to pop up will be going head to head against each other. This is also going to give the people who are just joining us a chance to subscribe and possibly giving us yet another bonus level here. Or whoever unsubscribed, to give them a chance to resubscribe. So we're trying to get back to 9911, and then from there 9912. So we'll see what happens. Okay, two numbers 1 through 30. First two numbers to pop up will be going head to head against each other. I read Great Movie Ride Vehicle as Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln Ride Vehicle. I was like, that's not a ride vehicle. All right, number 25. Number 25 is going to be the first one that's going to be entering into. But what's going to be going up against number 25? Number 19. Number 25 and number 19 are going to be going head to head against one another. Oh, and these are two classics. Oh, wait, let's start off with the one that I just did not that long ago, many times. And it's probably one of the more unique ride vehicles that is found in Walt Disney World, and before that, Disneyland, and before that, the 1964 World's Fair. That's right, we were talking about the Carousel of Progress Theater. The Carousel of Progress Theater made its debut at the 1964 World's Fair, and unlike most ride vehicles that transports you into a single location on a single ride path, instead, this time around, we have it so the ride vehicle goes around a stage in 6 completely different theaters to have it so you have an intro, a story that takes place in Valentine's Day, and then at 4th of July, and then Halloween, Christmas, and then an exit theater as well. This ride vehicle can house literally hundreds of people at any given time. It's currently under refurbishment for a brand new retelling of Carousel of Progress. But while you are on this attraction, you are being transported all around the different decades. Unlike most of the ride vehicles that we have, it has it so you pretty much stay in the same spot while also being transported. Going up against the Carousel of Progress ride theater is another very large ride vehicle, but unlike the theater or the ride vehicle that's the Carousel of Progress theater, this one is going to be a massive tram. In fact, it is going to be the backlot tour tram that used to take guests on a backlot tour of Disney MGM and then Disney's Hollywood Studios. While guests were going through on this classic attraction, they would board onto a massive ride vehicle that had those massive doors. Do you remember those doors? They were like, here, it was like, wait, no, that's the wrong side to do it. That's, and then they would close. They were massive doors. But on this ride vehicle, guests would board onto one of the ride vehicles that had about 6 different cars on it, and each one of those 6 different cars had about 10 different rows, and each one of those 10 different rows could seat about 5 different guests. So overall, a massive ride vehicle. While you're going through on this ride vehicle, you could go on a nice, leisurely, slow ride all around the backlot, but eventually end up at Catastrophe Canyon, where your ride vehicle was put or had a shock test for the tour tram, where you would be going through and having it so everything would be moving and being very, very chaotic. But the more chaotic question is, which one of these two do you want to move on to the next round? Is it the Carousel of Progress Theater, or is, oh, I misspelled progress. That's not very progressive. Or is it the backlot tour tram? You have 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. Do 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 do. Bottom. My only fear is I feel like Ashley might have slipped that final bonus round in right at the last moment. And I don't know how many people are actually watching right now because the numbers right now are so chaotic. Like at one point it said we had 27 people watching, and then like literally seconds later it said 3. So it's like I have zero clue how many people are actually watching right now, if it's 3 or 27 or someplace in between. No, I mean we have at least 11 votes right now, but it's saying that on my screen it's saying that we only have 3 people watching right now. So that's why I was like, is this like a vote between like Ashley and me? Viewer roulette. It is like viewer roulette. Sometimes YouTube is very weird with like the numbers that it shows me. It says we have 11, but I don't know. All right, we're going to give you guys 5 more seconds to throw your votes in. If you're one of those people out there who has not voted yet, one of those phantoms that's out there, throw your vote in. We have 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and it looks like the Carousel of Progress Theater will be moving on to our next round. It's a very unique ride vehicle. It's a very unique ride vehicle. Okay, let's take a look at our subscriber count yet again. I feel like we've played this game a few times tonight. We're currently sitting at 9,912. We went up one. You guys just earned yourself yet another bonus round. Okay. This is the show that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. I need 2 numbers from you guys between 1 and 28. First 2 numbers to pop up in the chat room will be going head to head against one another. 2 numbers starting right now. We're 88 subscribers, by the way, away from 10,000 subscribers. 88 people. Number 22 and number 27 are the first two numbers that popped up in that chat room. So they're going to be our first two that are going head to head against one another. Head to head against one another. Okay, 22 and 27. Oh, wait, these are ironically two that we just literally just talked about both of these. Again, everything's just randomly put in to figure out what the next thing is. So this is just very random. Okay, let's start us off with the Radiator Springs race car. The Radiator Springs race cars takes guests on a high-speed, thrilling attraction found at Radiator Springs Racers over at Disney California Adventure. On this race car, you are in one of the most advanced technological advancements in Imagineering as you are transported into a race with yet another race car. It is win, lose, or no draw because the animators already drew the characters. So which one of the race cars is going to win? You just never know who will be moving on to our next round, just kind of like our competition that we've got going on here. Going up against it is the last thing that made its way into our top 32. That is the parking lot tram. It never races anyone except for Brent Dodge, who's trying to beat it by foot. Usually Brent Dodge wins, unlike the Radiator Springs race cars, but maybe it will beat the Radiator Springs race cars in this situation, which brings us to our next poll here. Which one do you want to move on to the next round? Is it a Radiator Springs or Radiator Springs race car, or is it a parking lot tram? You have exactly 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. I don't know, there's a lot of people who are really singing the praises of this parking lot tram just a few minutes ago. So we'll see if the parking lot tram clan continues riding their tram to victory. I'm just not. If I had to choose my least favorite mode of transportation on Disney property, it's the parking lot tram. Although I do like the driver, there to you. Beep, beep. I think that's fun. It's not gonna lie. That's a little fun little gimmick there. All right, while you guys are going through and you have 15 seconds left to vote. If you have not liked the video yet, make sure you like the video as well. Spread the word, people. We're 88 subscribers away, possibly even closer. Who knows? Or maybe we lost someone. I have no idea. Okay, we're gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like boom, the Radiator Springs race cars is moving on to the next round. Okay, Radiator Springs race car. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, most likely we're going to be going to bed unless that number has gone up to 9,913. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the screen. It did it. We got a bonus round. Okay. We are currently 87 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. I need two numbers from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 26. First two numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. This is unbelievable. Do I have a YouTube short that's taken off right now? That's usually what a lot of my subscribers come from YouTube shorts. The video today is doing okay. It's at 1.1 thousand. All right, we have number 14 is going to be the first number that popped up. Number 14. And number 17. Okay. Number 14 and number 17. That's a good one. Okay. Starting us off with number 14. Number 14 It's a pretty classic attraction ride vehicle that opened up in the late 1980s in Disneyland and 1992 over here in Walt Disney World. This ride vehicle has been transformed slightly over the last few years to pretty much just get rid of the rabbit that used to sit at the front, but overall, it's going to be the Splash Log. The Splash Log, made for Splash Mountain along with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, takes guests, depending on which one you're on, if you're in Disneyland or Walt Disney World, it takes guests mainly, let's just talk about Walt Disney World because that's the one I know the best. It takes 8 guests at one time in 4 rows on a wonderful journey through 4 different drops. One of them, a decent drop. Second one, a decent drop. Third one, second one's that fun one. It goes, woo! That's my favorite. Third one is going to be an okay drop. And then, of course, the fourth one is going to be the massive drop of them all. Overall, this ride vehicle is very basic. It's like a hollowed out log, but at the same time, if you take a look at the details on the outside of the log, it actually feels like an actual log that was carved out of. Going up against the Splash Log is another attraction that if I could have the opportunity to buy and own and sit in and watch TV in, it would be a dream come true for me. We, of course, are going to be talking about the Peter Pan flight ship. These Peter Pan ships allow people, either 2, 3, or 4, depending on how many small children you have, to go on a wonderful ride over Neverland. Unlike most ride vehicles where you are sitting on the ground, this one is actually suspended from a little carrier booth that is hovering above, that transports you all over different spots in Neverland and London and Neverland and London. There's not much else that you go over, but overall, it is one of the most unique ride vehicles of all time. A sail in the front, a sail in the back, and a wonderful seat with the little magical pixie dust that flies down below you. And that brings us to potentially our final vote of tonight. Who knows? Which one do you want to move on to our next round? Is it a Splash Log or is it a Peter Pan pirate ship? You've got 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. This is the show that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started watching it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue watching it forever just because this is the show that never ends. People keep on subscribing, so it never ends. Okay, we get Splash Logger, Peter Pan Pirate Ship. You guys have about 30 seconds left to throw your votes into the chat room to figure out exactly which, or not the chat room, but in there's the poll in the chat room to figure out exactly which one you want to move on to our next round here. Also, subscriber roulette or viewer roulette right now is crazy. It literally just showed me at one point, it said we had 112 people watching and then went down to 2. So I have zero clue what's going on right now. Maybe there might have been 112 people who've come on at one point or another over the last hour and a half that we've been on. But who knows? I really have zero clue. Okay, we're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and it looks like the Peter Pan picked the pail of pickled pirate ship peppers. Peter Pan ship is going to be moving on to our next round here. Peter Pan pirate ship. I really do like the pirate ship. If I could, I think I told this story last time when we had it on there. They had the Peter Pan pirate ship on sale, or I was on auction during one of the D23 events, and I was like, oh, it'd be great to put a bid in. And then the person who won it was John Stamos. And I was like, are you kidding me, John Stamos? And John Stamos and I hung out one time for like 10 minutes. So he owes it to me. Maybe he was buying it for me and he just hasn't found me since then. I don't know. Okay, so last time we left previously on Wednesday's show, we were at 9,913 subscribers. I highly doubt this went up, but if it went up, we'll go into an extra round. So 9,913. We're at 9,914. Okay. This is going to potentially be our last our our last one. I have no idea if it will or not. Part of me is kind of hoping it does because I think my bladder would be happy if it did. Just saying. TMI, possibly, but that's besides the point. Okay, I'm right now in my head. I'm trying to figure out how long I am willing to keep on going with this episode if we keep on getting these subscribers coming through. Okay. um, Tonight's episode is sponsored by Depends. Okay, I need two numbers between 1 and 24. The first two numbers that pop up will be going head to head against one another. Oh, if we hit 10,000 tonight, that'd be amazing. Number 2, speaking of Depends, number 2. Number 2, and what's going up against number 2? No one else is even voting. People right now are trying to make accounts so they can get us into extra runnings. And number 9. Okay, number 2 versus number. Okay, let's start off with the one that was number 2 because that is one that we talked about earlier. It was in one of our previous rounds. It is, in my opinion, one of the greatest modes of not backtrack. In my opinion, it is the greatest mode of transportation in all of the Walt Disney World Resort. It transports you high. It transports you just high. It doesn't really go low. The Skyliner, Disney Skyliner transports you in a lovely bucket that is not air conditioned and doesn't have Wi-Fi. And I remember, do you remember when that first opened up and people were like so mad? They're like, doesn't have air conditioning in there. The ventilation system in this thing is amazing. It was 101 degrees today. No joke. It was 101 degrees today when I rode the Skyliner. It was perfectly breezy in there. It was amazing. The temperature was good. On the way back to Hollywood Studios, I guess the Skyliner was down when I was over at Pop Century and Art of Animation, going from Caribbean Beach to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And so when I got there, the Skyliner had just reopened, so they jammed like 10 people in there, and that was the only time I've ever been kind of hot in the Skyliner, but still it was comfortable, even with 10 of us in there and it being 100 and some degrees outside. Going up against the Skyliner bucket is an attraction that is so good it snuck in multiple times in this competition. That's right, we were talking about the Jungle Cruise boat, which I don't even know how we didn't catch it, but we put it through in multiple rounds. In the first round, the Jungle Cruise ship is a ride vehicle that takes a bunch of people on a journey through several rivers like the Amazon, the Nile, the Congo, and so many more, trying to figure out exactly how far you can go. It is on a track. However, we do have the skipper up front giving us great jokes, maybe, few eye rollers, but overall, a great joke all around. While he's going through, he gets control of the forward and the backward motion. One time we were evacuated and we got to go backwards, and it was one of the highlights of my entire life. No joke. This is probably why I'm single, because that's the highlight of my life. Not the day you met your wife. Wasn't that amazing? Well, this one time I got evacuated from the Jungle Cruise. Pretty cool. There were times where they will take a young skipper to put them up there and pilot the boat as well. And yes, I got to do that back in the 1980s, and I still remember bits and pieces of it as if it was 20 some years ago, 40 or some years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Anyways, that's completely besides the point. Well, the point is, which one of these two do you want to have move on to the next round? Is it going to be the Skyliner, or is it going to be the one that won 2 votes in the first round, the Jungle Cruise ship? You've got 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. Sent a star for 2 jewels. Oh yeah, love when we get the stars. Wait, what did I say? What did I say? I don't know what I said. I talk a lot if you've never noticed. I was talking about. I'm getting old. Sorry, couldn't hear you. Oh, I'm gonna live forever. All right, we're gonna give you guys about 15 more seconds to throw your votes in there. So if you have not locked in your vote, make sure you lock it in now. We're gonna give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Voting time is up, and our winner is. Oh, why did I end it so soon? I should have waited. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight is the night. We have not had this very often in this bracket series. We haven't had it a lot in the past bracket series, but it is time for me to be the deciding factor on which one of these two moves on to the next round. Is it the Skyliner or is it the Jungle Cruise ship? Okay. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do enjoy both of these ride vehicles quite a bit. I think both of them are great ride vehicles. So let's do some pros and cons. Pro, the Jungle Cruise ship. It gives you great views pretty much 360 degrees. I mean, there's sometimes where you have to kind of like strain to like look over someone else, and there's other people who are kind of in your way, which is a little irritating. But overall, I do think it's a great ship. I love the fact that I got to pilot it when I was a little kid, and I do really enjoy the ship. Pros for Skyliner. Skyliner, I think it's just a great, it's like the people mover in the sky. You can put your feet up, you can relax, you got great views of all of Walt Disney World. It can be a very personal, intimate space for just you and your family and friends, or whoever, or you and the strangers that I was with today. But it also fits a lot of people. Like today, they shoved 10 of us in one. And even though we had like 10 people in there, it still felt enough roomy that it wasn't bad. Cons, starting same with the Skyliner, it was a little awkward because one guy was on the phone yelling at his wife, and the rest of us just kind of sat there and stared at each other like, what is going on here? Cons for the Jungle Cruise. I have been on that attraction a few times when it rains. It is not very fun. The rain comes from the side, it hits you on the back. It comes from the front, it hits you on the front. It comes from there's a little, it's not the most comfortable ride vehicle, and there are some times where you are trying to scan your head, trying to figure out what is on the other side, even if you've been on the ride hundreds of times before, like myself. But I know which one I'm going to vote for. I knew which one I was going to vote for since the second I started rambling about it. I just needed to ramble for a little bit. The attraction going to the top 32, chosen by me, Brent Dodge. Oh, don't know. I had to say my whole name. Brent Michael Dodge is going to be putting through. It is literally the world famous Jungle Cruise, but that's the cruise. We're talking about the ship itself. Don't you have to pee? I do have to pee. I do have to pee. But just think about the numbers we're gonna get when people are like, did you guys see that guy pee on his pants on YouTube last night? I'm sure that actually happens all the time on YouTube. The one I'm going to be voting for is the Skyliner bucket. I love the Skyliner bucket. I think it's a great mode of transportation. I just think it truly feels to me like the people mover, and you guys know how much I love the people mover, and I love going on the Skyliner. I love the intimacy of it. I love the design of it. I love the characters on the outside of it. I love everything about the people mover. It's just such a great thing. The only time I've ever felt uncomfortable was when that guy was talking to his wife today, and I was like, what? But yeah, no, Skyliner, 100%. I have multiple Skyliners scattered around this condo. I don't have any Jungle Cruise ships scattered around this condo. As a ride, Jungle Cruise, I love the ride. Just thinking about the ride vehicle itself, I'm just not. I like it. I don't love it. Okay. Do we even look to see if we're at 99.15? Yeah, we have to, right? We have to. Because if we're at 99.15, do we do another round? I'm so scared right now. We're at 99-16. We're 84 away. Okay. 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 You better get together. Oh, okay. So we're yes, we're going another round, but we're gonna start this off here. We're okay. These are the rules of this next round. We're doing another round for sure. No questions asked. You guys have earned yourself another round. But in order to get another round after this, after we vote, this number has to be at 9,920 for us to get another bonus round. Okay. We need, oh, and you just got closer. I feel like one of you is just out there making a bunch of YouTube accounts right now. So if this gets up to 9,920, we'll get another bonus round. But right now, you guys have earned yourself one more bonus round. We have a lot of people who just logged on too. Okay, so 9,920. my bathroom is going to be like, it's not going to see what's coming. Okay, I need two numbers from you guys between 1 and 22. 1 and 22, first two numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. 1 through 22. We're 83 subscribers away from 10,000 people. 5. Oh. Side note, and number 14, complete side note, I usually, this is just a little, after I finish the Wednesday show, I typically do a run. And a lot of times I won't have my goal every day is 19,000 steps. And a lot of times I'm not at my 19,000 steps by the time we start the Wednesday show. And so because of that, I'm usually like, oh, when we, when we finish the Wednesday show, then I go out and do my run so I can finish my 19,000 steps. But today I had hit my 19,000 steps when I was walking around Art of Animation. So I already hit that. So right now we're not racing against me not continuing my step streak. Right now we're racing against my ability to go to the bathroom and potentially hitting more subscribers, because 83 subscribers away is pretty amazing. Okay, let's get to it, people. We've already talked about, did we talk about both of these today? We talked about one of them for sure. I feel like we might have, no, we've only talked about one, right? Yeah, we've only talked about one of these today. So let's start off with the one that we've already talked about, and then we'll go to the one that we have already voted in a previous day. So starting us off is going to be the carousel horse found over at the Magic Kingdom / over at Disneyland. The carousel horses all have very unique designs. All of these horses are different facial reactions, different color paint jobs, and a whole lot more. Yes, the ride goes up and down. It's a classic carousel. However, we do have so there's going to be 86 different white horses that are transporting us around in style. Going up against the carousel horse is going to be a different animal. I don't even know if you can't call this an animal, because it's literally a toy. Slinky Dog. Slinky Dog from the Toy Story films. The Slinky Dog is found on a bunch of roller coaster tracks as part of Andy's Dash and Dodge roller coaster track that he bought, and he decided to put Slinky Dog on the ride vehicle to make it more entertaining for him. Guests would board Slinky Dog in one of 9 rows. Each one of these 9 rows will have it so you experience a Slinky Dog-like action where you can actually feel like Andy is pulling you back and then pushing you forward as you go on this amazing ride vehicle. And that's going to be bringing us to our next poll. Which one do you want to move on to our next round? Is it the carousel horse or is it Slinky? You have exactly 1 minute to throw your votes in, starting right now. We've been doing this for 1 hour and 49 minutes now. This, oh my gosh. I'm gonna look at my phone. I'm gonna see if on my phone, what's our subscriber count at? So we said 9,920. I want to mentally prepare my bladder on if I'm staying in this seat for another 10 minutes. Can't we hit 10,000 tonight? It would be unbelievable if we hit 10,000 subscribers tonight. It would be unbelievable if we hit 10,000 subscribers tonight. Okay, I know the number of subscribers we're at. All right, right now I know if we're gonna have an extra inning or not after this. But ooh, now I'm curious. Oh, and the numbers right now, again, viewer roulette is crazy tonight. Right now, it says we have one person watching on my side, which I know isn't true because we have more than 10 votes right now. So, I don't know. Oh, and now it just popped up to 7. Now it just popped up to 32. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense at all, people, right now. All I don't, oh my gosh. Okay, let's just, let's get to it here. We're going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it looks like Slinky Dog is pulling out the win. A huge win, too. Only one person, if my math is correct, only one person voted for for the carousel horse. Who out there voted for the carousel horse? I actually like the carousel. I think I would have voted for the carousel horse, too. I actually really like the carousel horse. Okay, so as the rules of the Wednesday show stated earlier, if we were at 9,920 subscribers by the time we ended that round, we would go into bonus rounds. Currently at, when I looked on my phone when it was 9,918, we were at 9,920. We are 80 subscribers away from our 10,000 subscriber. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is what's going to happen. We're doing another round because I promised you guys another round if we hit 9,920. The number we're going for now is 9,925. If we get to 9,925 subscribers, we'll do another round after this. So send your friends, like the video, all that other fun stuff. I need 2 numbers from you guys, though, in the meantime. Between the numbers of 1 and 20, first 2 numbers that pop up, we'll be going head-to-head against each other. We are 80 subscribers away from our 10,000 subscriber. All right, number 20 and number 8 are going to be going head to head against each other. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. 20 and 8. Okay. Okay, versus, what was number 8? Number 8 was, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast is not bringing over like 5 people. I don't think just pitchers of water is going to do the job, but it might. It might. I shouldn't have drank this whole water. That's all I can think. Okay, so let's get to it here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Both of these are going to be 2 ride vehicles that we had put through in earlier rounds. So we're going to go through and kind of talk about them a little bit. So going up in our first ride vehicle is going to be one that stops and goes and stops and goes and stops and goes. It's the Revenge of the Backside of Water. So this here is putting toilet seat emojis in the chat room. Oh, is it worth going to the bathroom in my pants if we hit 10,000 subscribers? That's the question. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. If that happens too, we gotta film a crazy challenge tomorrow. Alex, if we hit 10,000 subscribers tonight, you might need to join me as we, I don't know, race the ferry boat again. That still haunts me that I lost that thing. Anyways, that's besides the point. Ride vehicles. a ride vehicle that starts and stops and starts and stops. Unlike this show that just keeps on going and going and going. We are currently 1 hour and 54 minutes into this bad boy. The Great Movie Ride. The Great Movie Ride had it so there was going to be 12 rows. I'm pretty sure it was 12 rows. 12 rows that could seat up to 7 people in each row. And in this ride vehicle, it was very basic. It was very simple. But at the same time, we did have not just one host, but not just 2 hosts, but potentially 3 completely different hosts that could be found at the very front. One of them was going to be a human host. Hello. Welcome to the Great Movie Ride. I know it's probably your favorite ride, and it's mine too. Also, we would have it so there is a robot narrator when our tour guide would decide to go off into the gangster area or into the cowboy area and be like trying to narrate exactly what was going on after that thing was hijacked by either a cowboy or a gangster. Yet again, our third host of the thing. And then eventually the robot narrator would be like, "This is Elliot. You are aboard the spaceship Nostromo with Sigourney Weaver." Oh, wait. So overall, a great ride vehicle, very roomy. It had a very unique smell to it, too. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it had a very unique smell to it. Going up against the Great Movie Ride vehicle is going to be an attraction that I personally love so much. This is one of those attractions that every time I am at Disneyland, I must do this ride. It is my go-to attraction after Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, easily my favorite ride in Disneyland Park. My second favorite is probably this one because you can go in one of 5 different cars. And each one of those cars is very unique. I prefer the caboose because you can face out the back of the one, the only Casey Jr. train. The Casey Jr. train takes guests on a nice scenic journey around Storybook Circus, around Fantasyland, specifically around the miniatures that are found in the area. While guests are going around on this scenic journey, they go up and down and all around, but some people are caged like monkeys, some are caged like lions, and then other people are sitting in luxury, and then there's always me, slouched back with the caboose. And that brings us to our next poll. Which one do you want to move on to our next round? Is it the Great Movie Ride vehicle? That's a lot of rides in a row. Or is it the Casey Jr. train? You have 1 minute to throw your votes in starting right now. While you guys start voting, I'm going to look at what's our subscriber count at. Okay. There's a chance, people. There's a chance. You'll see it in the news tomorrow. Brent Dodge uses the bathroom. After 7-hour stand. I love Casey Jr. Casey Jr. coming down the track. I think Casey Jr. Circus Train is one of the most underrated attractions in all Disney parks. It might not be the most thrilling, but it's thrilling. I love it. I love it so much. I really, truly love that attraction. Okay, we're going to give you guys about 10 more seconds to throw your votes in. As much as I love Great Movie Ride as the ride vehicle, not as much as I love the Casey Jr. train. We're going to give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drip, 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 drip. It looks like Casey Jr. is coming down the track. Casey Jr. train will be moving on to our next round here. Okay. It's time to figure out if Brent can pee. That's like the game shows. Okay, let's take a look at our subscriber count. As I said earlier, if we are at 9,925 subscribers, we will go into an extra inning. If we are at 9,920 or 9,924, whatever, anything less than 9,925, we will be wrapping up right here. Currently still at 9,920 subscribers, which I am still insanely happy with. Thank you everyone out there who has subscribed. If you continue to subscribe, if you can continue to spread the word, we are 80 subscribers away from 10,000. It would be a great week to get this. Now, with me being on the cruise and like I'm not going to be at Disney in a little over a week, so I would love to hit this before, so I'm in Disney when we hit our 10,000 subscriber. So keep spreading the word. like 9,920. Amazing, best $2 ever spent. Ashley, Ashley's $2 cost me like $50 in laundry fees, um, and cleaning fees of this chair. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us once again this week. As always, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We are 80 subscribers away. We're going to hit that this week, people. Mark my words. Also, you know what? In honor of trying to hit our 10,000 subscribers this week, look out for some bonus live feeds. If you're not subscribed, turn on the notifications. We will do some bonus live streams from the parks. Specific streams makes me want to go to bed. We'll be doing some bonus live streams over the next week, trying to help hit our 10,000 subscriber. So keep watching the videos, keep liking the videos, all that other stuff. We're going to hit it this week. Mark my words. Otherwise, next week I will probably just sit on this show and cry. But thank you everyone out there for joining us. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. If you're one of our Patreon pals out there in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. And of course, I already said it earlier, but then Ashley decided to throw $2 our way. Oh, if someone throws $2 right now, I think we might be going into extra innings. But also, okay, I guess okay. As always, remember, anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Are they gone? Because I have to pee. Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. Oh, I just can't stand this kind of pressure. You guys are awesome. Jiminy Jillikers radioactive.